Not too long ago, I ran a poll on the channel asking all of you what is the best Team Fortress 2 blaster to build next. In that survey, I received an overwhelmingly response to the Panic Attack, and with good reason. Now, the Panic Attack looks like several blasters already in existence, one of which is the ERTL Rapid Fire Shotgun, which to some is considered a foam flinging relic. For you old school Nerf modders out there, this blaster was used in an iconic build known as the Doomsayer. So having this blaster in good condition is a fantastic thing. And to be honest, I'm not sure if I actually want to cut it up. And if I were to do so, it'd be for a Doomsayer more than anything. So because of that, I went and started looking for other options. Now we know the Silly Butts designed the Battle Axe. And after talking to Silly Butts a little bit about the design, he admitted that a lot of his inspiration for the Battle Axe actually came from the Team Fortress 2 Panic Attack. However, it's clearly not a one-for-one. There's a couple things about the Battle Axe that are actually not really a one-for-one with the Panic Attack. One striking difference is that there is a big drum on the front of the Panic Attack, where the Battle Axe uses a magazine. I thought about just putting some round covers on the side of the smallest magazine, giving it a drum appearance, so that would be one way to circumvent that. Secondly, it has a pistol grip, and the Panic Attack does not. It has more of a rifle kind of swept back, traditional shotgun type of stock. So if I use the Battle Axe as a starting blaster, I'm gonna have to address the drum issue and the pistol grip issue, making it quite an interesting project to tackle. So I figured I'd do a little bit more research before I dive into one particular blaster, and so I was kind of perusing Amazon for some of its cheap Nerf knockoffs. And that's where I came across this blaster right here. Now, usually these cheap, generic Amazon knockoffs have very general names, such as this one I think was actually called the Foam Blaster Toy Gun. They usually call them dart launchers or foam something. There is no name for this thing, that's what I'm getting at. And on the side of the blaster, it just says caution. The other thing with these blasters is you might find this with a different package one day, under a different name, under a different company. It's pretty common for these types of blasters. With all that said, it's kind of hard to find a particular one unless you have a link. So if you would like to pick up one of these, I will put a link in the description. Now the blaster is pretty cheap, but it did have a couple things that stood out to me. Number one, the front of the blaster has this turret here, and you could put a fake drum cover to give it the illusion that it is a drum, not a turret. But the most important part of this blaster is this back section right here, which does come off. This stock and trigger setup is very similar to the TF2 Panic Attack. So I thought to myself, this is probably a good place to start. So in today's video, we're gonna take a look at this blaster and get a baseline for it. So let's go ahead and jump in to today's video. So if this blaster does have potential, we can take this further in a video series where we modify this thing to be a TF2 Panic Attack. Now today is a beautiful day outside, so we're gonna take this blaster outside and do some testing. So in the package, you get 40 of these suction head darts. You get the blaster with its removable stock, some iPro, and a target. You also get this little rail mount that goes on the side and holds another 6 darts. So let's start with some accuracy checks with the darts that come with the blaster. And these are just your standard suction cup darts. Yeah, so me personally, I couldn't really hit much with these darts, so I'm gonna switch these out for the Worker Gen 3s. The Worker Gen 3 is a much better dart. However, I noticed when putting them in the turret, they actually don't seat until you push them all the way down. So I use another dart and push it all the way down. That also brings up a good point. We can probably shotgun this, and we'll test that later. Okay, let's try some shotgun blasts. Yeah, so it appears there's just not enough power to make these things effective, but you know, 20 feet, it seems like it would get a tag. And just because I know a lot of you are probably wondering, does this thing have slam fire? Let's go ahead and check it out. Unfortunately, it looks like it does not. All right, let's grab some chronograph readings, starting with the darts that come with the blaster. 69.2, 70.5, and 71.8. Now let's grab some chronograph readings off of Worker Gen 3s. 72.8, 75.4, 76.4, and 71.8. So definitely a slight improvement. So in conclusion, after using this blaster today, I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed for the cost of it to what you actually get. I think it's a solid pickup. I have to say the plastic quality is actually in between, well, it's hard to say because Nerf has actually shifted their quality a little bit. This is on par with some of their not low end, but mid-range quality plastic, and it is an upgrade above X-Shot plastic. So very happy to report that it's actually a pretty solid build. The performance of this blaster is very similar, you know, kind of your standard Nerf performance, which is cool. It's a good baseline to start at. And all the accessories that come with the blaster, including the suction cup darts and the iPro and whatnot, it just feels like that standard stuff you get with cheap Amazon blasters. So nothing too crazy there. I really think with a short dart cylinder, maybe with a higher capacity, bringing it from its 6 dart capacity up to something higher, and a spring upgrade, I think this blaster would be really good actually. With that in mind, I think this is a good candidate for my TF2 Panic Attack build. Let me know in the comment section if you agree with me. And if you don't want to cut this thing up and mod it, it still is a solid pickup. I'll leave an affiliate link in the description if you'd like to pick one up. I did purchase this blaster for this video, so if you use the affiliate link, a little bit of money comes back, which helps tremendously to keep the channel running. Well, if you've gotten this far, I want to thank you for watching today's video. If you haven't done so already, make sure you're subscribed. I have a ton of videos coming. Also, make sure that little notification bell is checked so you can see when I make new content. As always, I'm DrFlux. Be safe and happy foam flinging.